Get ready for Champions League Volley 2022. Whether your team is trying to defend the title, return to glory, or make their mark on volleyball, this is a tournament you won't want to miss. The Champions League group stage starts Tuesday, November 30th.
What is up, European volleyball fans? Welcome to the European Volleyball Show, live before our match of the week, Dinamo Moscow versus Warszawa. My name is Rob St. Clair, and a very special guest joining me from Istanbul. He plays outside hitter for Fenerbahce. He just helped his team get a big 3-0 win to kick off their Champions League season yesterday. Mr. Salvador Hidalgo Oliva, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the collaboration. Thank you for the invitation. I'm here to answer all your questions and spend some time with you. And I hope we have some fun, everyone together here.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining the show, man. Everybody watching, thanks for hopping in the chat. We've got the match going live in just about 30 minutes here on YouTube. So if you're looking for it, you get to listen to us preview it for you for about half an hour. Then we'll all switch over together to watch the game. Let us know in the YouTube chat if you have any questions about the match, any questions for Salvador. I'm looking at the chat, and we'll get to any questions throughout the show. But let's jump into this thing, man. So Salvador, first of all, let me switch camera views here. We've got a big week, and it started off yesterday. With your Fenerbahce team taking on Caen from France, who won the French League last year, and with a huge 3.3-0 win. That match was on YouTube. If anyone missed it, go check it out. Salvador and French Olympic outside hitter Yassine Louati are one of the most fun outside hitter duos in all of Champions League. Salvador, tell me about the match yesterday. How did you guys? What was the matchup like against the Caen team that looks a little different than they did last year?
Yeah, we didn't know much about Cannes, but we study every team before we start playing. We were preparing our week. We had a very good match in the last game we had in the league, and we got a really good preparation. We play a good team, Sorghum, which had almost the same characteristics that Cannes had. So that give us a small advantage to get ahead of the game. So then we got a good coaching staff and also amazing players around. We set up to play, and we just were looking forward. So we got a great match. It was not a perfect match, but I always say that in Champions League you just always have to win. It doesn't matter how, because people doesn't know, but for players and for everyone to win in Champions League is always so difficult, especially in our case where we have in amazing pool together with Cannes, Perugia, Trento, and Fenerbahce. So for us, we strive for every point. We made it pretty good. Playing together with Yassine, make it more easy. And, all other guys, Metin, Ojan, Mohamed, middle blockers, so it's these guys are just different. And we just been missing our big boy, Sayed. He got unfortunately injured. But we got some good middle blockers also, like Ahmed, my big boy Hassan Sikar, Emre. So for us it's pretty nice to be playing Champions League. It's also give you a lot of power to go ahead for the league. But now yesterday the old focus was in Champions League, and 3 points is the most important. We got it.
3 points is huge. Yeah, very nice match yesterday. It was fun to watch. So that match is on YouTube. We'll do a little bit of kind of Champions League overview for people who are kind of new to the tournament and just for how to watch it. So every week we've got matches on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And typically one per day will be shown live here on the YouTube channel. And then in particular, we've got a big spotlight on the Super Match of the Week, which is always on Wednesdays. We'll do this show, the European Volleyball Show, to preview each of those matches. But all the rest of the matches of the tournament, and there are so many every week, all of them you can watch live and on demand at eurovolley.tv. So if there's a match that you want to watch that isn't on YouTube, that's where you can find it, eurovolley.tv, and we'll talk about some of those in a little bit. So you can take a look at the pools right now for the men's tournament. We had a great week last week kicking off Women's Champions League. Salvador just kind of talked about his team's pool, Fenerbahce's pool in Pool E, with the Italian heavyweights Perugia and Trentino, along with Caen from France. Salvador, taking a look at the rest of these pools, the other pools that aren't yours, what else jumps off the screen to you as a pool that's really interesting or maybe really difficult?
Oh, the sea is unbelievable good. It's like, oh my God, like Lube, Saxa, Novosibirsk, and
It's
Maribor. Okay,
Maribor
Maribor, I don't know
from
much.
Slovenia.
Yeah, exactly. But I know Novosibirsk, Lokomotiv Novosibirsk has been playing really good in the last couple of years. Saxa, everyone knows they are different. They are the today's volleyball is about big men, and they are grown men with another way of playing. They are different. And at Lube, they have like all these monsters. My big boys, Simon, Juan Torena, Lucarelli, really great setters like Disheko. I mean, like there is nothing else you can say. So I think that this pool is jump off in my eyes. It's a pool to watch, and I mean, like for people who really love volleyball, I recommend them pretty high. I mean, like the fourth team should be happy to be in this pool because you're gonna get so much experience, good moments, incredible fans. Russia have incredible fans. Poland have incredible fans. Italy have incredible fans. So I mean, I just say enjoy it as much as you can, man. Enjoy every single point because you never know when you can have it again. So.
That's right, dude. Champions League is such a special tournament. It really is the best club tournament in the world, in my opinion, and the opinions of many.
100%.
And yeah, the matches just are so good. Every year there's just these incredible storylines and produces amazing games, amazing moments, and upsets and teams that make Cinderella runs. And like so last year, obviously, like Zaxa, like you're talking about, man. Zaxa last year, they go and win the tournament. They beat Lube, they beat Zenit Kazan, they beat Trentino. They kind of rewrote the narrative on like what a club volleyball team is supposed to be like. Exactly like you said, just the style of volleyball they play was so different. And so just to let everyone know how this fourth round works a little bit. So you've got the 5 pools of 4. Each team will play each other team twice, home and away. So we've got several weeks, really a couple months of matches in this phase that'll run through about February. And so only 8 teams make it out of this round. All right. So it's the top 5 teams, the teams that win each pool. And then of the remaining teams, there are 5 teams that will get second place in their pools. The top 3 of those will make it out to the quarterfinals. And that's when it gets really interesting. And like we're about to talk about Warszawa, featured in this match, Dinamo Moscow versus Warszawa today in Poland. Huge game. Last year, Warszawa was in a pool with Modena from Italy and I think Kuzbas Kemerovo from Russia.
Yeah,
and they went 4-2, 4 wins, 2 losses in their pool. They were dead tied with Modena in matches and in set ratio. The tiebreaker came down to points, and I'm not talking about like 3 points for a win, 2 points for a 5-set win. No, I'm talking about like literal points on the volleyball court.
Oh.
Warszawa missed out winning their pool by 4 points. Wow. Literally, that's 4 points on the volleyball court in 6 matches. Like that's like, I don't know, 4 missed serves here or there in 6 matches. That's how close it was. They were that close to winning their pool, and instead they didn't even make it to the quarterfinals, which was crazy. So this Warszawa team is really, really hungry to get back to that point because they are good enough. Their roster is really good. They're, I think, second or third in the Plus Liga right now. They're playing really well.
Yeah.
So Salvador, you played, like you've been in Fenerbahce now for a couple years, but before that, you played for Jastrzębski Węgiel in the Plus Liga. So you know Polish volleyball very, very well, and you played against this Warszawa team. A couple different names from when you were there, but a couple that are the same at the same time. Tell us what you know right now about this Warszawa team and their kind of play style.
Well, the play style starting from the coach, got a great relationship with him also. Anastasi is like a really good and crazy coach. One of the coaches that you always want to play for. And he's very clear in his ideas, what he like to do. This team is a really good build. They have two great setters, Jay and I forgot the Angel Trinidad.
Yeah, that's right.
Angel Trinidad. So I love to watch Liga from time to time, and I see that they change him from time to time, getting different tactics of the game. Then you have Nowakowski, Kwolek, Brona. You have the libero, which are really good. So I think that they are very able to go ahead. Also, the opposite, who played last year in Skra, is really good. Also, they are used to play against big blocks, because in the Plus Liga they have like a really good middle blockers, blockers, outside hitters, and everywhere actually. This Dinamo Moscow is a really good team, very busy team, having won almost everything last year. They are different. Also, they're going to be a great match, because I think that's why this is the game of the week, because both teams are so busy, and it's going to be a really great match. So I can't wait for it.
Yeah, let's talk about Moscow a little bit. They kind of took the club world by storm last year, because, like, for anyone who's followed the past 6 or 8 or 10 years, out of Russia, it's pretty strictly been Zenit Kazan, except for those couple of years where Belgorod were really, really good, like with Mazursky and Yurgi Grozer and all those guys. But other than that, like, it's really been Zenit Kazan's league to dominate, and they had so much Champions League success over those years. But last year, Dinamo Moscow kind of came out of nowhere, and they won the Russian Super League. So they beat Zenit Kazan, they beat Zenit St. Petersburg, they beat Kuzbas, they beat everyone. And they won the CEV Cup. They also beat Zenit St. Petersburg in the finals of that tournament. Their setter, Pavel Pankov, if you haven't heard that name, you saw him a little bit for the Russian national team. He's incredible. This summer, probably the best serving setter in the world, in my opinion. And just like kind of a one-player example of this Dinamo team's play style. It's classic Russian volleyball. They're huge. They hit the ball really hard. They serve really hard. Yep, they're strong. They block a ton of balls. And typically in Russia, they only get 2 foreigners. And their 2 foreigners are really good. You got Svetan Sokolov, the Bulgarian legend, at opposite. And their other foreigner spot is a libero. Right, Lori Kerminen from Finland, which is crazy. Like, you don't usually see a team like with such few foreigner spots using one of them on a libero, but Lori Kerminen is really, really good. They've got 2 giants in the middle. Ilya Vlasov is a freak. And then Vadim Likosherstov, I think, is 2'18". He's enormous. And then at the outside, they have Podlesnik and Bogdan, both Russians, who are both really good. Like, it's a classic Russian volleyball team. They're just giant across the board.
Man, this team I saw playing last year, because last year they still had their own, and I was like, oh my God, they are unbelievable. They were really good. And this year they are playing also good. They also won Super Cup, this year in Russia. So, So I was watching the games also, because the libero and I have the same manager, Nisse Huttunen from Finland.
Oh, cool. So, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And man, we were like, man, I was watching them and they were amazing. They were in another level. So I think that this match is going to be the attraction of a lot of volleyball players, and also for a lot of fans who knows volleyball, and especially in Poland, because Poland loves volleyball for sure. Many people is going to be there in Polsat watching the game, or in YouTube channel here with CEV watching the game, for those who doesn't have Polsat. So
that's such a good point. So this match is being played in Poland, and this year, with generally across the world, the fans are back in the arenas, at least to some extent, most places around the world. And Salvador, as well as anyone, in Poland, of all places, that makes all the difference in the world. Polish fans are absolutely amazing. How much of an advantage do you think home court is for Warszawa in this match?
I always say in my volleyball career, especially when I was in Plus Liga, playing in Plus Liga, that the fans are the number 7 player. I say Rosen Berlin, we have like fan club with the number 7 player. So Polish fans are different than any other fans. Like Polish fans fight with you from the beginning till the end. And especially in Warsaw, they are so loud, but so loud. Also the DJs, which is pretty good. And he know his tactics when you go surf and all this. I remember being fighting with the DJs the whole time because they want to play the music longer than, they have the tricky games, they are this kind of holes where you feel like really, really good to play. But like every people say, and also coaches say, like small details make the difference. They have the tricky way to go with the fans, the tricky way to go with the DJ, delaying the game. Coach is pretty smart also, fighting with the players and with the referees. So they always find their way to win, somehow. And I think that the fans is going to be a huge part of it because, like I said before, uh, Warsaw is a good team, but also Dinamo Moscow is a great team to play. So it's going to be a hell of the game.
That's such a great point. In the arena there in Warsaw, like they'll be able to control so many little things outside of just the game. Like, yeah, the music, the crowd, the coaching, like the little bits of gamesmanship that go on there at the highest volleyball levels that aren't always totally obvious. When you're at home and when you have like a knowledgeable and passionate fan base like they do everywhere in Poland, that can be worth a couple points on the scoreboard. I mean, who knows how close this match is going to be?
For sure.
That's going to be huge.
Sure.
So, yeah,
because it's a momentum changing,
right.
So and you just get sometimes keep your focus out because you just get focused on something that doesn't matter, but at the end of the day matters in the develop of the game, and they are tricky and they know how to do it. I wish all of them luck, of course.
So Dinamo Moscow's setter, Pavel Pankov, who we already talked about, I said he might be one of the best serving setters in the world. Shout outs to Dan in the chat, my usual co-host of the show. He has 19 aces in the last 3 matches. That's insane. That's like over 6 aces per match. It's one of the craziest things I've ever heard. And that's like so classic Russia because like he'll, even if he's not getting aces, he's forcing teams to pass the ball way off the net. And then what happens? Then they have giants in the middle and giants everywhere where they're just going to block balls. Classic Russian volleyball. So how do you think, Salvador, how do you think Warszawa handles, like what's the key for them to handle the service pressure and the size of this Dinamo Moscow team in the matchup?
I think that Warsaw have very good players. I think that Kuoles in position 4 is pretty good. Also, the opposite is also pretty good. I think that the key is going to be trying to get the ball, especially the jump serve, way that they can control the playing fastball outside. And they have also good middle blockers like Nowakowski, where he can play shoot, he can play the 7 really good. Also, Brona can play the 7 really good. And I think that if they can control to have the reception in the line of the 3 meters, in between 2.5, 3 meters, 3.5, 4 meters, I think they're going to be able to play fast because, like you said before, Russian team is big. They are good in block, especially in high ball blocks. But I think that they can find their way in this fastball that you play it outside, where the middle blocker is always hanging a little bit independent. Right. Because if they go too fast, if they got option to 4 or to 2, they have 2 good setters like Jay and Angel, and they can play still the shoot, the 7 to Nowakowski or Brona, and they can also make some damage in the middle. So I think this is the only chance that they have. And we also have to say that the Pankov also just doesn't serve good. He's also a really good blocker, and he can serve like pretty good too.
That's a great point. Yeah, I totally agree. If Warsaw can stay close enough to being in system to really run their offense the way they want to, they've got a great chance because they've got 2 world-class middle attackers in Vrona and Novakovsky. Yeah, that gap set, that spacing that they're able to generate to kind of force the other middle blockers to guess and move sideways and leave a little bit of space is going to be huge if they're able to do that. I'm really curious to see how Dusan Petkovic, the Warszawa opposite, can handle, because that Moscow is going to put on some service pressure, and Petkovic is going to have to take some swings against probably 3 blockers and way out of system and, you know, the classic high-level opposite stuff. I'm curious to see how well he's going to be able to handle that particular area of the game, because sometimes they're going to need him to score a couple points in those situations. Yeah. And if they're going to win, especially against a team that's just so big, especially in the middle, he's going to have to be able to score a couple key moments.
Maybe they play this Italian style where you go, when you got 3 blocks, you go for your second opportunity, you go soft in the block, get the cover, and then you can go again, engage again with the spike. So we'll see how at first we have to see the ability of the players today, and the ability also seeing what they will be capable of to do, because it's also difficult to play. But I know that Kuala is able to do it, play against a block, play this reset against a block, and try to transform again the counter-attack again. So if they struggle a little bit in reception, I think this one could be a good option for them for keeping playing, for keep the ball alive, and then to score when they have the best chance. The same way like Saxa won last year, you know.
That's exactly what I was just about to say.
Similar game, you know. It's this Italian game plan where no make too much mistake, go against the hands, try to make your own offense again and again and again, and not leave the ball for free, you know. So we will see. But for this, you also need players to be able to do it. You know, it's easy to say it, but it's most of the time it's difficult to execute.
That's such a great point. Yeah, the reset into the block to get the ball back on your side. That's something that has really become common and important in the game lately. And when you're playing a team that's this big, you're going to need to have that skill. And you're exactly right. Zaxa pretty much wrote the book on how to do that last year at the club level. They were so good at, you know, taking situations that they were probably a little bit behind in the point, slapping it into the block and covering it. And then all of a sudden they're ahead in the point. It's crazy. A couple things in the chat really quickly. One from Sinerak, a common viewer of the show. Grabelny no longer a Belgian. And I had heard that was in process. So Igor Grabelny, born in Belgium, was trying to get Polish citizenship to no longer be considered a foreign player in the league, because sometimes there's an advantage of being a player. And I heard that was happening. I wasn't sure if it was official, but regardless, in Champions League, there are no foreign player limits. So he can be whatever nationality he wants for this tournament. Dan's saying that Superlak might play over Petkovic. That's a good point. Warszawa has options at setter. We already talked about Jay Blankenau, the Canadian, behind Angel Trinidad. Both of them are really good. But yeah, Mikhail Superlak is a really good backup opposite who we saw for most of the year last year. So we might see him. My friend Everett from Volleyball Source wants to ask you, Salvador, who's your favorite teammate of all time, and why is it Jason Duraco from Canada?
Oh my, man, he was close. I
love that.
Scott Tosinski.
Yes,
Tosinski, my favorite teammate all time, man. This Scott is he was different, man. We played together in Berlin, beer volleys, and we played together in one of the things that I went to Poland was because we were going to be together with Scott, Mar Lebedew, and Kampa. But Scott Tosinski, he was different. He was my roomie, my best advisor, my best friend in volleyball court. When I was struggling, he was like, "Man, I got your back. Forget it." And I remember when he would tell me once, like, "Hey, if you get blocked, don't worry, bro. You will get 15 more. So don't worry about once. Focus about the next one, which is always the most important."
Huge. Great advice.
Give me always like, when I'm thinking that I was going low, he gave me this power to go forwards. So it's a person that just with your face expression or how the way he is, so easy to go. It's make it so simple for me, and it was so fun to play with him. And man, we became best friends. And
Scott is the man.
Great pick. Scott was he was different, man. And I mean, like he was different. And I think that one of my best experience also in the court, I made it with him. So I'm glad that I had the chance to know him. Huge player, also Olympic champion. I mean, great career, man. Unfortunately, he finished it with me, but okay. But it was good. I know he's doing well back in US.
Yeah, he is. All right, so
But
we've got just a couple minutes before we end the show. We all switch over to watch Warszawa versus Dinamo Moscow. But really quick, we want to talk about a couple other matches that are happening this week. Yesterday, we already talked about Salvador's Fenerbahce squad with a nice 3-0 win. Later today, what is that? 8 p.m. CET, Lubic Ivanova against Lokomotiv Novosibirsk. That's in Italy. Huge match there. That's on Eurovolley.tv. And then tomorrow, a match that I'm sure Salvador is very interested in, Perugia versus Trentino tomorrow on YouTube. That's another match in Fenerbahce's pool. So we're really excited about that. That is a classic Italian battle. And those two teams have really gone after one another in the Italian Super League so far this year.
yeah. I mean, the Champions League is just the best league in the world. This is very
the
simple.
best, man.
You just have the chance to see the best players in the world. Sometimes they have the chance to play good, sometimes not so good, but you get the chance to see them. And for sure, in one of these 6 games that we had in the pool, you're going to see them successfully 4 or 5 times to doing well.
So there's only one thing left to do on the show here, Salvador, and that's make our picks for Dinamo Moscow versus Warszawa. I'll go first on who I think is going to win this match. Man, so I think if this weren't in Poland, I think it would be Dinamo Moscow would be a pretty heavy favorite. But like we talked about, I really believe in the home court advantage of really playing anywhere in Poland and in Warsaw in particular. But I'm still going to pick Dinamo Moscow here, and I'm going to pick them in 5. I think Dinamo Moscow 3-2 over Warszawa, and that's big because of the points. You get 2 points for a 5-set win. So we will see if Warszawa can push it to 5. Who do you think, Salvador? What's your pick?
So I got to guess now.
Yeah.
Man, it's going to be nice for me. It's very difficult to pick because I have so many friends in Warsaw. I born in Russia actually. So yeah, I think that I go into 5 sets. I think it's going to be five sets. We will see 3-2 for Warsaw. I will go against you.
I love it. Yeah. Well, we're all rooting for 5 sets, and we'll see who comes out on top in the end. Thank you, everyone, very much for watching. It is just about match time, so we will wrap up the show here in just a second. We'll all switch over and watch Warszawa versus Dinamo Moscow together. Make sure you give Salvador a follow. His Instagram is there on the screen. Give me a follow as well. We will see you guys next Wednesday on the European Volleyball Show. Enjoy all the Champions League matches this week, and thanks very much for watching. Salvador, thanks for hopping on, man. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you for you guys, and anytime, you know me. I'm here.
You got it. Good luck the rest of the season, bud. It's great to have you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
All right. Enjoy the match, everyone. See you next week.
Bye-bye.